It's amazing how this series was once thought to be cancelled, only to bounce back and become one of the popular series of the year. It's truly an amazing underdog story. The battle has ended, but Kokushibo's story has not. He is perhaps the last remain of the last generation, now fading to the afterlife. Before he goes out, the backstory begins to unfold, revealing the life and downfall of the Moon Breather. It all started with the Sun Breather. This chapter is all about the flashback. That's definitely not a bad thing. However, if you're dying to know, no pun intended, the status of the pillars, you have to wait. It's not confirmed that Tokito and Genya are dead. Though for Tokito, I can't see any around it unless he becomes a demon. So patience is key. In the meantime, the flashback will serve a sob, depressing tale of brothers that couldn't have their own way. We know Kokushibo envy his younger brother Yorichi, but we don't know when exactly that sin began to consume him. Honestly, I didn't expect the last chapter's closure was segueing to his entire backstory, but not only is welcoming, it's warranted. Not only will we learn the depth of Kokushibo's character, but so has Yorichi's. While the future of the series is still unknown, despite the feeling of closure is strong, this flashback will set up for what's to come today. Although they are twins, Yorichi was born with the mark. It disturbed the father so heavily, he wanted the baby killed. That's just sad. Curse or not, what kind of person would want to kill a baby? Thank the son for the mother, for she denied him and kept the baby alive, like a true loving person. It's only when he turns 10 that he will be sent to a temple. The idea is, Yorichi was treated like a special person, differentiate from how Kokushibo was raised. Different food, different clothing, and so on. Yorichi had clinged to his mother's left side, as if she is the only one he is treated with love and care. She did save him, so no child will ever leave their mother's side. However, there's a major key to that illustration, but let's go one step at a time. Kokushibo pitied his younger brother for how he was treated. I thought it's sad to know he did care for him. He even went out of his way to make a flute for him. The brotherly love, or bromance, did exist once upon a time. It's also sad to know how lonely Yorichi was, unable to smile or even speak, like a mute person. It's amazing how much he will change as young adult, but saddening to see him as a child. The seed of envy was planted when Yorichi watched him training. It was that moment where he was fascinated by his dream to become the strongest samurai in the nation. So he too wanted to become one. Kokushibo was shocked to not only hear him speak for the first time, but so as see him smile. It's like a blind person finally able to see in 20/20 vision. It's a miracle. It's a heartwarming moment, but disturbing to Kokushibo. This moment is very crucial to the following scene, for it will become apparent how much life changes for the two. He believed it was unthinkable for Yorichi to become a samurai. This gives you an idea how he judged a book by its cover. And you know the old saying goes, he was a kid, so it's understandable in some regards, but this is where it began to change. Yorichi takes a practice sword and goes against the instructor for fun. Kokushibo has practiced for so long, he's still unable to land a hit on the instructor. Yorichi, however, on his first try, not only lands it, but soundly defeated him. It's striking to see him go at it, practically annihilated the instructor in his first try. He was only 7 years old. It's as if he's the Brawly from Dragon Ball of this series, gifted with incredible power. It becomes more apparent when Kokushibo asks him about his strength. Yorichi was already able to see the transparent world. That's unheard of, but according to his description, it's most definitely the case. All this time, Kokushibo pitied him when he's in fact not only gifted, but vastly superior. Looks can be deceiving, is what he should have known. This should be an uprising hill for both, but it sadly becomes a downhill spiral. Yoruichi's smile faded away once he realized the damage and pain as a samurai. This explains why we hardly see him happy until he spoke about the next generation. Maybe he found it again, but as of now, it appears his life was forced to live this path based on his gift, or maybe curse. It's crushing to see him wanting to play games with his older brother, yet all they can talk about is samurai, something he wanted to avoid. As for Kokushibo, his downfall is much clearer in compare. He was outclassed by his younger brother by a large margin. It was then their father changed his mind about his son's role. Yoruichi would inherit the house, while Kokushibo will be sent to a temple. In other words, the roles have been reversed. It's bad enough the same guy who wanted Yoruichi dead now kisses him like the favorite. It is worse that Kokushibo is now treated like a second fiddle. It's not like he was rude like a spoiled brat to warrant this kind of karma. It's not designed for us to laugh at him, rather sympathize. The sad part is, he was raised to be a samurai from the get-go. Because of the house status, he can no longer be as such. Imagine being raised to be a football player, training and all, only to be declined 7 years later. Your mind is fixated to live that life. But now that's taken away? How can you adjust to something else? It's not easy, and Kokushibo got it really rough. Perhaps the last tender bromance moment is Yoruichi's farewell. Their mother had passed away, and Yoruichi was departing to the temple. He stopped by to say goodbye to his brother, presented him the flute, the same one from the past. It symbolizes how much he cherished it. Even with their shortcomings as of late, Yoruichi truly loved his brother like their mother. He saved his life. Now the tears seen back when they are much older hold so much meaning. It's quite sad to look back. He also smiled once more. Perhaps his only happiness is with his brother, and just the fact Kokushibo became a demon is really soul crushing. The nail on the coffin for Kokushibo is the mother's journal. She has been dealing with a bad illness for a long time, and her left side was suffering. That's when he realized Yoruichi was supporting her since the beginning. Once again, seeing is not believing. With Yoruichi winning the father's approval, loving and carrying the mother, and being a superior samurai in every way, Kokushibo was enraged with envy. Looking over the chapter, I can't really blame him. To me, this is deemed as a sad story. Yoruichi had nothing, only to be granted with everything. Yet he wasn't amused. Kokushibo had everything he thought to have, only to be discarded by reality. Yet he thought he was doing well. The best way to describe him is a shonen protagonist gone wrong. He was treated with respect, but inside, he was the underdog. He trained hard, yet Yoruichi was gifted with everything. Because we know he became a demon, hard work did not pay off. I look forward to that moment where Kokushibo sold his soul to the demon. I thought this was a touching chapter. It delivered the inside depth of the Sun and Moon brothers back in their childhood. Their adulthood differs greatly from their childhood. I would have assumed they lived mostly normal, but their childhood shows hardship and painful reality. Kokushibo's envy was reasonable and sympathetic in my opinion. It would have been pitiful if he was just jealous without any circumstance such as raised as a prodigy or approved by the house before changing plans. I know I mainly summarize here, but the narration is very good. All presented well by Kokushibo as a narrator. It's wall of text, but compelling and thoughtful. The tale isn't over, so the downfall will resume. And that will do it for the review. I hope you enjoyed this one. Leave it to the series to deliver a great backstory. Granted, I really wanted to know the status of the pillars, especially when they put their life on the line, but I don't mind to take a break and learn the story behind the Moonbreather, who could have remained as a legend, but instead became a shell of a former self. What do you think of this chapter? Share your thoughts in the comment section. If you like this and want more of this, subscribe to my channel and my world will be yours to stay. Until next time, take care.